Welcome and acknowledge to today's Sabassembler. Guys, today is a special day. Today is the day I've been anticipating for such a long time. Today we have the XM Studio Starscream from their G1 Transformers line, and I can tell you, this statue is one of those statues that I've been anticipating for such a long time. The first time I saw pictures of this, I just knew I gotta have this, and finally it's here, and I can tell you, this is one hell of a box. It's standing on the side up right now in front of me because that's the only way I could get it in. This thing weighs about 50 kilos and I had to push it all the way through my house to get it here. And I can just to give an idea about the measurements, I'm about 1.78 meters tall, and this box is like just above my waist, and whoa, you can see how huge this thing is, and like the width, I don't know, it's I think almost wider than me. It is wider than me, I guess, the box, and I can tell you, this is a box you probably need someone to help you with. So as I said, this is one heavy box, and I don't think I can get it on my table. I have to put it on the ground to when I open it. So I just can't wait to open this thing. So I'll show you as usual the unboxing, and I'll get out all the parts, and then we'll assemble the statue. So let's get into it. As you can see, this is one huge box. I'll just get out the shipping box and see what's inside it first. As I said, like, this box was just too big and too heavy to get onto my table, and not sure you can see it, but just have the packaging, and inside you have this little black huge envelope. It's the first time I see a black one. I think XM Studios have changed a few things. And here it comes with where all the pieces are placed inside the box. They give you this. They don't give you the assembly handbook anymore, I believe. Here on the back you just have these QR codes, I believe, for the assembly. And we'll have to see how that will go on. We'll just push this aside. This statue doesn't come with an art print just like Optimus Prime, and that's a shame, I think, but well, that's what they decided to do. So I'll get everything out first and see you then. I knew before I said I couldn't get this box on the table, but after I saw the design of the statue, I just thought I had to share that with you, because for a change, XM Studios made their boxes a little bit more colorful. Here on the front you have the traditional G1 Transformers logo, and on the side you have the Decepticon logo, and on the other side you have a picture of Starscream and with all its power informations, and here a short description of his character, and on the top you have this, you have it saying Starscream and XM Studios, and you have more of this cubes, or all this square designs. But I think this is a really nice box from XM Studios for a change. So now let's just unbox this bad boy. Well, I just got out the box, took off the whole lid, and whoa, you just get this fresh new statue smell, just like as if you're having a new car. And I don't know if I'm just imagining this because I'm excited, but I have a feeling it's much stronger than usual on this statue, and just can't wait to get the things out.
ያቺ ገራገር በትዝታ ነግሳን ትታይ ጀመር ቀና ይል ጨለማን አይመርጥልኝ ጊዜ ይዞ ይጭልት ይላል የናፍቆቷ ባዜ ደስ ያለኝ ተወልዳ ያደገች ቀሚሴ ያደገች ቀሚሴ ፍቅሯ የሚያድነው እንደ ዳማከሴ እንደ ዳማከሴ ወርቅናን አሻግራ ልቤን አጓጉዛ ልቤን አጓጉዛ አሪም አትልሞይ አንጥፋ ጎዝጉዛ አንጥፋ ጎዝጉዛ ያቺ ገራገር ሰው ያቺ ገራገር ባለች እንገናኝ እንዘያየር ባለች እንገናኝ እንዘያየር ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ያደች ባይኔ ላይ ድምፄን በማሲንቆ በክራሩ እስየ ድምፄን በማሲንቆ በክራሩ እስየ እስኪ ላዜመላት ልበላት ማርየ በባቲባ አምባሰል ደሞ በትዝታ በባቲባ አምባሰል ደሞ በትዝታ ባንቺ ወየ ልጥራት ባለችበት ቦታ በሀገሯ አዜማ በሀገሯ ቅኝት በሀገሯ አዜማ በሀገሯ ቅኝት ያላዜመ የለም ያልዘፈንላት ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ያለች ባይኔ ላይ ያቺ ገራገር ሰው ያቺ ገራገር በትዝታ ነግሳን ትታይ ጀመር ቀና ይል ጨለማን አይመርጥልኝ ጊዜ ይዞ ይጭልት ይላል የናፍቆቷ ባዜ ቃላትን አፍርቃ ስትነጋገር ስትነጋገር ካንደበቷ ለዛ ይቆረጣል ማር ይቆረጣል ማር የንጉሥ ሚካኤል የራሳሊ ዘር የራሳሊ ዘር ምን እንከን አለበት ዱሮ ሲፈጠር ዱሮ ሲፈጠር ያቺ ገራገር ሰው ያቺ ገራገር ባለች እንገናኝ እንዘያየር ባለች እንገናኝ እንዘያየር ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ያለች ባይኔ ላይ ባንቻሮ በባቲ በየገበያው ባንቻሮ በባቲ በየገበያው ፍቅር ይሸመታል እንደ ማሽለው ከመርሰው ብርቱካን ከወልደየ ሎሚ ከመርሰው ብርቱካን ከወልደየ ሎሚ መልካም ጠረኗ ነው የሆነ ተስማሚ ልክ እንደምኔ የሀገር ጉዳይ ልክ እንደምኔ የሀገር ጉዳይ ፍቅሯን ልደራደ በውጫሌ ላይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ዓለም ዘመናይ ያለች ባይኔ ላይ
Okay, welcome back. As you can see, I've taken out all the pieces. They're all next to me and distributed other places. but I can tell you the statue comes with a lot of small pieces, but also a lot of big pieces, and these big pieces, I can tell you, are very heavy, like the base right in front of me and the main body of Starscream and other pieces of the base, and it actually made me sweat, so I actually had to change my shirt, as you can see. So let's get to the fun part and put the statue together. As I said before, this statue actually doesn't come with a handbook, which I think is a shame. I hope XM Studios will go back to the handbook, so I actually had to look at the assembly video from XM Studios, but as I said, I still think that the handbook is still a good option for other people whose internet may not work or so, but let's get started. You have these two similar big pieces of the base, which actually go in the sides. They are not color coded or anything, but they have some their own specific shape, which only fits in one part. And on this side here, on this side, we have this huge peg and a key, which should fit in. And we actually just have this. I can tell you, these big pieces are very solid. They are not hollow or anything. They are extremely heavy. I'm sure you could kill someone with this. But this one here goes in, as I said before, on this side, and you just push it in. It has a key and a peg, very big ones too, by the way. And these should just be pushed in, and that works very smoothly. And the next one right here should go in the other side. Now we got it, and it goes in nicely. And next should be this large piece of the base. This one doesn't seem as solid, but it still is pretty heavy, and it just fits in right in the front here, and smoothly, no wobbly motion, everything sits in there nicely. So I can tell you, this base is just gigantic. It's huge. I mean, it's wow. I don't know how I'm gonna carry this around. This thing's just, whoa, it's just ginormous. That's it. The next step should be Starscream himself, which has one huge peg, and that should go in right in the center. And goes in, just have to push it, and fits in without any problems. No issues, I like that. Whoa, does this statue still fit in the frame? Whoa, the statue's already bigger than. I think I'll have to move the camera. Okay, as I said, I had to reposition the camera because the statue just got too big, and I hope you can see it now. It's, wow, this is a huge and beautiful piece. So next parts should be these smaller parts of the wings of Starscream. They go at the bottom of his legs, I believe. There's one for the right side and one for the left side here. These fit in nicely with strong magnets, nothing to worry about. And I believe I'll start with the classical Starscream look, and The first step would be his right arm, which goes here on the right side. It has a key and a peg too. Honestly, this is the first time I see a round key on XM Studio statue. And that goes in like that. And the next step would be the the left arm. And this one logically would go in here on the left side. As you can see, I actually had to get up to put these statues in, put these pieces in, and you can't even see me anymore, but you're not here for me, but for the statues, so that's not too bad. So the next step, or next two steps, would be these small cannons for Starscream, one for each arm. There's just have to figure out these fit in with magnets too. I'm not sure if there's one for each. They just fit in there nicely. And next step, I believe, would be one of his jetpack. That goes in right here in the back. It has two huge magnet keys that just fit in. Sorry, this is the wrong way around. These fit in nicely like that, and now you can add these cannons. As I said, you might want to put it in the jetpack first and then the cannons. So these just go in where they were before. Wow, this is a huge statue. I really have to look up to see, and this is just beautiful. I'm totally speechless. Next part would be his his right arm with the Megatron gun. Need to push a little bit to get it in solidly. So next part would be his left arm with the open hand, and that's done. So last step would be the head of Starscream, just the regular head. It does have a light up function. I'll just get the batteries and come back with to you. And this one just... Here I got these batteries. You need two LR44 batteries that go in the top of the head, and you have these buttons with which you can turn on and off the illumination in the eyes. And let's just put this on, and this looks, wow, just phenomenal. It's a beautiful statue. I think this is at least equally as good as Optimus Prime. I would say this is, I think, like one of their XM's best pieces up to now, from what I've seen. I just think this is a great statue. Yeah, here we have the regular pose of Starscream, and this is like the classic look, and I just love it. First time I found out about the statue and I saw the statue, this is the way I saw it, and I was already blown away. But XM, as usual, always has a surprise and give you another switch out. And with this special cape, first we're gonna have to take out the single put the arms, I believe, just to be on the safe side. As you can see, this statue comes with this huge cybertronic look, which looks beautiful and has this shiny purple color on it, and similar on the inside but with different texture, and just looks beautiful. And if you want to have this Prince Starscream look, you're gonna have to add the cape, which goes in on the back, which has a huge peg and key. And now we can put back the jetpack where it was before. Beautiful. So for this full Prince Starscream feel, you actually get an extra pair of arms. So this pose also comes with its own pair of hands. It has this open left or right right hand, just like reaching out. And the other side we have this fist. And next we have the Starscream portrait with the crown, and also this one comes with a light up function. And here this one just fits in like that. Beautiful. Here we have the full Prince Starscream mode, and that's the way I would call it, with the cape. And we'll give you 360 of that and some close-ups later on. Wow, this looks beautiful. This is a hell of a statue, I can tell you that. Just breathtaking. Not to forget, this statue also comes with a second statue, which is the transformed version of Starscream, where you have these three separate bases that have a kind of velvet kind of material under it, so it doesn't kind of shake or wobble. But you have to arrange these hexagons in, I don't know, like in this kind of position, and once you have that, you have these other kind of the stand where you have to, which connects all three of those. It's more like a tetrahedron kind of shape, and once you have them all in position, it connects all three of those, and then you have the main body of the fighter jet, which I can tell you is huge, and that fits in with a peg just beneath. Here you have the wings. You got the left wing that fits in here, and the other one with its own peg and the magnet. Here we have the back wings that fit in here, also have pegs. Just have to. And here you have the fighter jet. I love the fact that they give you this extra transformed version of the fighter jet in the case of Starscream, and the truck with Optimus Prime, and I think it looks beautiful and it's huge. I mean, this thing is a statue by itself. You could actually, they could have sold this separately as statue for, I don't know, maybe $400 or so, but and I think it's a good thing they give you this with it, and that's, I really appreciate that. Okay guys, I've had some time to go through the statue and look at all the details and just figure out, make sure everything's fine, no damages, and I can tell you everything's fine with the statue. I can tell you, let's start with the sculpt of the statue. I think the sculpt of the statue is just amazing. I mean, the pose is beautiful. You have these two options. You have this Prince Starscream option and the other more classical look. Let's just switch that out again. And I guess you could pose in this way without the other arms and make them look this way. I think with this posture of the arms, he looks a little bit more dynamic, and you say like you have the gun, and you can see it in the camera. I think this pose is still beautiful. I think it looks very dynamic, and as I said, like, I think they definitely managed to keep the classical G1 look of Starscream and at the same time add this modern version or modern look of him with all the small details they added in each part. And I can tell you, every single screw and every single piece of this statue is sculpted. Like, nothing of this is just painted. And I know this is not metal, but all the pieces actually do feel like metal, and I just think there's nothing I could really complain about the statue. For me, in pose and sculpt, this is definitely a 10 out of 10. If you look on the details on the side of all the joints, you have all these small screws, and all of these are sculpted, even on the jet here, and the base. The paint job is also done just wonderfully, and you have all these shiny blues and the whites, and at the same time you have all the parts which have aged and have been worn off during damage, and all this reds, and it's just beautiful. And the base, you have this Cybertron base with this, I don't know if they're like I don't know if it's a, I don't know, just something, I don't know if it's a hand, I don't know, just trying to grab him, if it's a claw or something, but whatever it is. And something it reminds me of is a bit of the base of the XM Studios Alien Warrior statue. I have like actually right behind here, and because they both have this sphere looking kind of shape where you have things going around all kind of shaped up in a sphere, and that's just one thing that jumps to me when I look at it. So only the difference is like this one is more kind of mechanical, Cybertronic like. The other one is more organic with the HG Geiger style. And you have the Megatron gun in his hand. I know it wouldn't really make sense with the Prince, the Starscream look, but still it looks great this way. You could imagine that maybe Megatron and Starscream became friends someday, but that's just something you could imagine. And still, and as I said, I don't have anything to complain about this statue at the moment. And I said paint job also is 10 out of 10 for me. Pose also, I honestly don't have anything to complain about. For me, it's up to now, XM Studios has done a great job with their Transformer line. I'm happy they didn't go with the kind of movie style Transformers and went with the G1 Transformers style. I think they did a good job with that. And next would be, what would that be? That even on the face, if you look at the face of Starscream, he has this smirk on the face, and you can see like he has this evil kind of face on his, evil look on his face. And even if we would add the regular Starscream head again, I'm still not sure which way I'm going to pose it. I tried to add the gun to this other arm, but actually the Megatron gun doesn't fit inside this arm. It's maybe a shame, but because these Prince Starscream arms, they actually do look really nice, and I'm still undecided which way to pose it. So still don't have any complaints about the statue. Next would be maybe the measurements of the statue. The height of the statue is almost 83 centimeters. The tallest part would be, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe this pose. Yeah. The tallest part would be like the top of here on this wing. Here, like that would be, I think, here the top part. And in width, in this pose, I think the widest part would be the wing, and maybe from the Megatron gun to the wing, or that would be about 63 centimeters wide. In depth, it's difficult to say. Maybe with the cape definitely makes it much wider, but without it would be sure not as deep. With the cape, I believe it would be about 59 centimeters, maybe 60 to be on the safe side. So let's just look at the measurements of this piece, and in length, like from front to back, it's about 44 to 45 centimeters. In worst scenario, 46. And in height, I think the highest point would be, somewhere, the top part of the cabin, the cockpit, and that's about 21.5 centimeters up to 22 centimeters. In width, it would be .33 centimeters, maybe 34 centimeters. And yeah, this is actually pretty big extra statue they give you in combination with Starscream, and as I said, I really appreciate that, and it looks really nice. Even on at the back of the statue here at the engines here, you can actually looks as if the fire is coming out. That's how nicely the paint job is done, and that just looks pretty nice. And I have a similar thing with the jet engine, with the jets in Starscream's legs. I'm not sure if you can actually see that, but that's how nicely the paint job is done there too. I'll give you some close-up photos of that. But that has been really done nicely. They could have added some light up functions in those, like with Optimus Prime. That may have been a nice extra, but I don't know. They decided not to do that. I've always been wondering, like, what looks better, like Starscream or Optimus Prime, because from the pictures I've seen, I always thought both were the best Transformers statues from XM Studios I've seen until now. But when I see both, I don't know, it's hard to say, because honestly, from the base, I like the Optimus Prime base more, because I think it has more of this Cybertronic look to it. It has more of these beehive kind of looks, and it's bigger, and you have these tentacles going around in the Optimus Prime base. But I don't know, I think maybe this pose of Starscream and the detail maybe, I think, stands for Starscream, but these two statues are definitely at least equally good. It's really hard to say which one is better. There isn't really any better. So I just want to say, like, if you have the chance to get this statue, please do so, because you definitely will not be disappointed. Both are phenomenal, especially when you have both of them together. They will look just phenomenally good and breathtaking, and there's nothing more I can say about that. So as I said, if you do have the chance to get the statue, don't hesitate, get it immediately. You won't be disappointed. From the material, if I really had anything to complain about the statue, it might be the cape in terms of the material. It is solid, but it's more like a plastic kind of material. It's not like sculpted. It's not like kind of this porcelain. It's more like a plastic material instead, but still the paint job on this cape is just great. It looks beautiful. You have especially this shiny blue look on it, and the texture of it. You still have this cyber mechanical look on it, and it just looks great. I think they did a great job on that in terms of sculpt. As I said, like, the only thing that disturbs me is the material they used. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's very light. It's not heavy. But that's something I think where everyone could have his own opinion about. XM Studios again definitely did a great job. Yeah. Last but not least, this statue does come with these plaques XM Studio gives you, and here you just have to like take off this blue cover, and it has I hope you can see it. We have this Starscream look, and this is a beautiful thing to display our statues with, and it looks really nice. So I'll still give you some more close-ups later on the end of this video and show you all the details and 360s of both the jet fighter and Starscream. So, as I said, I hope you liked today's video, and I hope to see you again soon on my next video. And as I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, and don't forget to like, so I can tell you, as I said, this is one of my most anticipated statues, and since I'm really happy that the statue finally is here, I can tell you this definitely is a reason to cheer and celebrate Ethiopian style. So thanks for watching, and God bless you, God bless our statues, and have a nice day.
ዘመናት ባዶ የነበረው ልቤ ዛሬ ሙት ተፈታ ውበት አሸነፈው በጉራጌ ዋንጂ የመስቀለት ማታ የሳለታ ስቴተረታ የሳለታ አይ ውበቷ የሳለታ ስቴተረታ የሳለታ Saleta, ala de kun besamret fazo garre ayne sayat tfarawa melkwan no desa la kandino fikrinde wasa Umetenyaw fikri ay mertib banqwazeri sumla banchi hiwete nayli gibi bete nay gibi bete nay gibi bete nay gibi bete nay gibi bete ዘመናት ባዶ የነበረው ልቤ ዛሬን ሙት ተፈታ ውበት አሸነፈው በጉራጌዋ ልጅ የመስቀለት ማታ የሳለታ 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 የተረታ የሳለታ አይኑ በቷ የሳለታ 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 የተረታ የሳለታ የሳለታ በዋዜማው በደመራው ተሰብስቦ ሲጨፍር ሰው ሳይደነግጥ ልቤ ሳይፈራ ገባው መሃል በሷ ጭፈራ